Bitcoin got a nice pump today, which is awesome to see some much needed life from the bulls. And you guys will know that I was actually looking at this upwards sloping trend line, this first one that I had mapped out in my recent videos here. And I've actually been leaning quite bearish, honestly, thinking that that line looked a little bit weak. And more so just that I saw the potential for some nice deep targets if we were to end up breaking down below this line, respecting it as resistance, getting a rejection. I thought there was quite a lot of downside room there to go, so a nice juicy short. But what ended up happening is I mentioned this in my last video. We got this false break, so we had these one, two, three perfect touch points along that trend line. That's generally what I look for when I'm looking for the break of a proper trend line. I always like to have three exact touch points. That's just how I like to look at things. Maybe the way you analyze is a little different, but yeah. So after the third touch, I was expecting this to actually initiate a dump, but we never even got a 5-minute candle close below that line. It got bought right back up just as quick as it tested down lower. So we actually formed this other trend line, and we did end up getting this break of the first trend line once again. I was saying that, I'm not so sure that the bulls are going to be able to recover if we break that again. But we never did respect that support resistance flip. The bulls really just kicked back into the market here as soon as we got our third touch point along this new trend line that was formed from this fake out down here. And that just pumped us to the upside here, and we reclaimed that line once again, just treating it as a bit of a deviation or just a fake out, whatever you want to call it. Either way, we broke below, never got the proper retest, and it was just off to the races. So we have to ask how far this can go. Actually, and another reason why this was looking so juicy, I actually ended up taking along, and you guys will know that I say this quite often in my videos, that it's more important to be able to react than it is to predict. And this is one of those times that that's exactly how this played out, you guys. Even though I was leaning a little bit bearish, I was open to the possibility of something bullish happening. So when we were getting back above this line, just looking like it was just being that bit of a more of a bullish fake out, really, like the bear trap. Let's go with that, bear trap to the downside there. Zoomed in and taken a look at the MDX algo indicators, which I've been absolutely just loving. This is zoomed right into the 5-minute chart, but I have the 1 hourly trend confluence activated here. So this is a moving average, the 21 EMA on the hourly chart, but I'm zoomed right into the 5-minute chart. So very cool, a very useful tool to have there. And I actually did end up totally taking the opportunity to take this long signal from the MDX Algo 3. And my reasoning for that was generally when we get these long signals fairly close to this hourly confluence, they have a fairly high success rate. And I was already looking at the fact that, we got back above this support, which we ended up dropping, so it looked like a bit of a fake out. We got these reversal warnings. That's what these orange W's are here. So for those to be appearing right along the hourly trend confluence, I was willing to give that a little bit of weight. And then, you know what, it flashed long, and I just wanted to ladder in some positions on the way down. Only got my first one, but whatever, beautiful position there. And it absolutely just exploded from there. So that's very cool to see. I'm loving the way this indicator is able to do that. I took most of my profits fairly early, to be honest, along this price hike here. I believe I was already out of 60% of my position. I took about another 20% there, so I only have about a fifth of my position running at this point. I'm not in a hurry to jump into a short or anything like that. I think it's dangerous to get in front of this momentum right here, so I'm willing to just leave a bit of a long position open. Then, you know what, if things look like they're in my favor, I can now even just use that grade entry if I feel like adding into my position now, because I can raise my stop loss significantly. Then that price would just play a nice buffer on my next position. I would still be able to have my stop loss in a profit, but be able to add to my position if things look favorable. So I want to leave that little bit of a position open still. Just looking at where I think the price could go here. I mean, there's no easy way to say it. We're at resistance. anything can happen here. Yes, the bulls are looking strong, things are looking good, but there's no way you can deny that we are technically trading into old support, which could end up flipping into resistance, as you know. That would also be, what are we at there? Just above 18K, kind of, where so far we have stopped right around that 18K mark. I think we could expect resistance all the way up, even if we shot up to 18.7, 18.8, somewhere in there. I don't think would be crazy to expect a bit of a rejection there. As well, if I zoom out here, you can see we just have a lot of resistance no matter how you look at it. So just something to be cautious of is all I'm saying, guys. We have this downward sloping trend line that may be forming. I would expect if we tested it a third time, wouldn't be too surprised to see a rejection. And if we end up breaking it after a third touch point, then I would be strongly considering the possibility that, things are actually looking quite good for Bitcoin's mid to long term. Obviously, as we go up, there's just so much resistance since we're in such an ugly bear market. You guys know so many of the levels, important levels to watch in this market. Obviously, if we do end up breaking to the upside and getting above kind of that 18.7, 18.8K, I think it would make sense that we would end up testing up kind of around that 21, even 21.5, kind of testing up into the resistance up here. If we end up actually breaking above that level, finding support there, then we obviously have this resistance up here, kind of up closer towards 24 to 25K. After that, I mean, obviously this area would be on everybody's radar pretty much, would be this old macro structure from basically the start of our bear market, or just, I guess, more so the support that supported the entire bull market there. So after dropping that, obviously that could be flipping into some very strong resistance. We're going to have to see what happens there. But I wouldn't be all too surprised to see some resistance there. That's all I'm saying, guys. Like, we could absolutely blow right through it. I mean, we could just start climbing stairs and just consolidating, finding support on top of old resistance. That would be very healthy for the market, and it would be in a very juicy place if that were to happen. But there's just obviously a ton of resistance up ahead, is just something to be cautious of. If for whatever reason we end up getting above this purple box, this is obviously so far in the future. This is really just preparing 10 steps ahead of time kind of a thing, you guys. If the price does ever break above this purple box and start treating it as support, I think that it would make a lot of sense to find some resistance up around 48K. Again, obviously this is a far way in the future, but I think that would make sense for a bear market rally. Much like our previous bear market, we rallied up to 14K before getting our vicious COVID dump. And that was actually right around the 618 rejection point. And this has happened. I've showed this in previous videos. This level has been respected as a bear market rejection in every previous bear market. And it ends up giving a very strong rejection. So I wouldn't be too surprised to see that level give the price of Bitcoin a bit of trouble. Not only that, it's obviously an area of interest in the markets. We've been trading around that level quite often. We do have this structure right here matching up perfectly with that 618. So that would be a beautiful short opportunity, in my opinion. If we actually get a weekly candle close above this line, I would get extremely bullish. I've showed this in previous videos, what has basically happened. That's usually what ends up making Bitcoin go parabolic. And that would be something I'd be very interested in the future. But once again, guys, I'm talking months down the road. I'm just, once again, putting these levels on your radar so that you can be 10 steps ahead of the market and just kind of know what to look for, kind of what areas I'm watching and that sort of stuff. So, yeah, the indicators right now, this is just the 5-minute chart I'm looking at here. We're still well above the hourly confluence. So that's where when I get these signals, I'm a little more hesitant just because they are so far away. But really, the price doesn't look all too bad, even though we're so overextended, in my opinion. I mean, we're still getting these bullish warning reversal signs at these levels. So, I mean, It's not like the bears are just absolutely crushing the bulls back down. So far, it's not looking like too much of a BART pattern, but we're going to have to see. Like I said, there's a lot of resistance ahead, but things don't look too terrible, in my opinion. Just a few things to be cautious of. So, yeah, I think that's about all I wanted to go over with you guys. If you guys find these MDX indicators interesting, you can try them for free. There's actually a 7-day free trial that I believe will be ending in the early new year. I have a referral link down below, and if you do decide to keep it, I believe you get a 15% discount with my referral code. On top of that, guys, if you also have friends who are traders, you can literally earn most of the monthly fee back fairly easily from referral bonuses. I think you get something like 30%, 40% if you refer enough people. And on top of the indicators, guys, it's just an absolutely amazing community to be a part of. The private Discord is full of active traders of all levels, a super supportive community. So be sure to check that out as well if you do sign up. Don't just go for the indicators. Definitely check out the Discord as well. It's totally worth it, you guys. Active traders such as myself in there posting all the time, and other very excellent traders in there, and so many different methods to learn and different input to get on the markets and that sort of thing. So it's just absolutely awesome. Anyways, guys, obviously none of this has been financial advice. Always do your own research to form your own opinions. But if you did appreciate this video, please do me a favor and hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't. And with that, I'm out. Stay safe, my friends. Peace.